This is the Jewish cemetery in Łomazy, which is in eastern Poland, close to the border with Belarus. It's only about 25 kilometers to Belarus from here, approximately, as the crow flies. The cemetery was founded in the second half of the 19th century. It's 13,500 square meters, so it's quite large by Jewish cemetery standards. There are no surviving stones which are standing here from before the Holocaust, but you can see it's nicely walled off, and we have here the stones, which I'm presuming have been found because the Nazis used the stones from cemeteries for paving or for other uses, for hardening road surfaces, which, to be quite honest, can't have been a particularly practical way of doing anything, but it was done, I think, more to sort of insult the dead. That's my opinion. In Łomazy, there was a massacre here which was so well described by Christopher Browning in his book Ordinary Men. In here was Reserve Police Battalion 101 from Hamburg, which murdered the Jews of Łomazy, approximately 1,900 people. It's not clear exactly how many were murdered on that day. There were, before the war, the population here, Jewish population, was roughly, it was just under half of the overall population of the village. But there were a number of people who came here from other places, from as far away as Suwałki, Mława, Warsaw, for example, as well as from neighbouring villages. So I'll take you down here to start off with, because this is the memorial to the Holocaust. Now, on the 18th of August 1942, this mass murder was carried out. They had still found some more Jews who were murdered the following day on the 19th, but the large killing was on the 18th. This says, here rest the remains of 2,000 Jews from Łomazy and the area murdered by the Nazis on the 18th and 19th of August 1942. Remember them. Signed the World Association of Jews from Łomazy and the community of Łomazy, dated August 1988. And I have to say that this cemetery has not been defiled in any way. Now, as far as these massacres were concerned, the remains from one of the pits that were dug were brought and put here in 1949. So we have two graves here marked by the stones. And if we go into the forest to see where the people were murdered, the place of murder has been marked by the stones. In 1949, the bodies were exhumed and brought here. So from one pit, 1,800 people approximately, and from the other pit, 100 people approximately. I know it doesn't equal 2,000, because the problem is we don't know. So these are the two mass graves where the people from the killings were placed. Over here we have this lapidarium, I think that's the correct word, and what happened in many places is that headstones have been found and they're placed often into the cemetery wall, but here they've built something special for them, and you can see that none of the headstones are intact, but at the same time we can make out very clearly the letters, but absolutely clearly. And often it's the case you just can't see this stone itself is really been well preserved. Okay, this is more like typical of what we expect here. You can't make it out at all. It's as though this would just been finished. It's so clear, the letters. So here it says, for over 3 centuries the Jewish community took part in the life of Łomazy. In this cemetery there are Jewish graves from times of peace, times of war, and from the final destruction in the summer of 1942. May their souls be bound in the bond of life. I read that from the English. They're in such good condition. It's hard to believe that this a conservator or somebody hasn't. It must have been protected in some way. And I know from my own experience is that more and more stones keep being found. See this one here, absolutely clear, the letters, absolutely clear. I can't I can't read Hebrew and saying, well, much Hebrew, but obviously I do know what the letters are, and I'll read you this one a little bit. So this tombstone represents, okay, so I can only pick up 1 or 2 words. So the lady was virtuous and she was innocent, and here we have a name. So it's B-I-L-A, Bila, M-L-K, so Bila Malka. I don't know anything about her or who she was, but a stone lies here and it's absolutely clear. The letters, as I've said before with Polish, don't always correspond to the same letters in other alphabets. So a B is a B, but the word at the end, it looks like a bit, this one here, I don't know how it's like sound, at least it is in Yiddish. Two days ago I went to the Jewish cemetery in Menschitz, and I was quite upset by the way it looked. Now this is okay, it's overgrown here, but it's I think that adds to it in a certain way. In Menschitz it was incredibly overgrown, and it was so bad that I thought I couldn't even go in without having to put on protective clothing. It was like that. The nettles were at my height. I'd never seen nettles that high before. Obviously the trees here are younger than the age of the cemetery. I need to point out that it's not the responsibility of the local community to take care of the Jewish cemeteries. One thing I've had this before from people in the United States have said this to me, so how bad the locals are not looking after the cemetery, and I've always retorted, well, rather than complain at that, why don't you do something for the Native American cemeteries in the United States? I have done and will do a number of videos related to the activities of Reserve Police Battalion 101, including this massacre here. I've already did a video yesterday, a long one, and where I explained it. I'm also going to do a documentary type video on it, so if you're interested in that, you might want to subscribe. I've also got a number of Jewish cemeteries from around Poland on my site as well. I upload every day, in fact. It's the same time, 2000 hours. On a Friday there's a documentary style video, and on a Tuesday there's a shorter video. Often it's sort of promoting one of the longer videos on the shorter video. I pick up, or alternatively it's something which I did quickly. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and all the best from me in Łomazy, Poland.